Hello and welcome to today's tutorial. Today's tutorial is quite simple. It's one of the final processes that you need to do in order for you to take your high-res model detail and map it onto this retopologized, unwrapped, low-poly version. So just to check this model, what I would suggest is just to make sure that you have your unwrapped. So this model's been unwrapped. And it's a low poly version of the high res version of the model. So if you're doing this for yourselves, please make sure that you've done this process for your own model, and that your high res model is sitting on top of your low poly version of the model. Your low poly version model is sitting on your high res poly version of model. So what we'll do is, to start off with, we'll export this model out and I'm just going to override this one that I've already done. So I'm just going to export that out as an OBJ. So make sure that's the case for this file. So when you start off this model, you'll start off with this and you're going to export it out as an OBJ. You can call it whatever you want. Hit export selection, just hit yes, and then now I'm going to go into my ZBrush file and I'm going to set this up and I'm going to load up my file. So just navigate to, you'll have this file in the same place, so I'm just going to go to Big 10 high res model, and this will have a version of this model here. Just make sure you change the material here to skin shader 4 so you can actually see this model with the detail of the texture that's been painted. So this is also equivalent to, just say you've already done your texturing. There is some stuff that could be fixed around here that I haven't really fixed up, but we'll just keep it as if it's the final. So in your own version you'll probably have completed your texture as well. And if I zoom in, you can see also the detail of the parts where it's been sculpted. So there's a lot of detail in there. If I turn it around, you can see the sculpted detail, the skin detail that I showed you how that you've done before in terms of your sculpting. So you want to be able to project this on to your model. Now this model of course doesn't have any low res version, so what we want to do is we want to map your low poly version onto that. And the way that we do that is, firstly what we'll do is we'll just select off this model. So just choose this and hit switch. So we're just going to choose simple brush and hit switch, and then we're going to hit import and we're going to load up our model and hit quads, triangles, and just draw that out for now, just so you can see the difference. So this is our low poly version. So this is the low poly version, and you can see they're right next to each other there. So if I switch from that to this one, I want to be able to load this model as part of what I'm seeing here. So if I go onto the subtotal if I go onto the subtool here, this is incorrect right now. It says it's low res, but actually it's the high res version of the model. So what I want to do is I want to load this into this here as well. So I'm going to turn off the eyes just so I can see it. So this is my high res version, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the append. So hit the append tool, and you can see that this low poly version now has come into the subtools. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep this one on, and I'm going to turn the high res one off so we can see what we're doing here. Now it's very important that we subdivide this model to match the same type of topology that we have for this model. So if I turn this off, you can see that this is 3.6 million. This is the high res version of the model. and we want to do the same and to this one to match roughly the poly count. Currently it's only 3600. We are going to do that, so in the next video I'll be subdividing and projecting this data detail across.